Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea. Welcome back to your Chelsea news. And today's video is very different, not only in location, we are currently in Wales on a work trip, but also with the topics. In today's video, we're going to be talking how Chelsea have walked into another European final, how Trevor Chalobah's future has already been decided. Enzo Fernandez has a ridiculous price tag on him to keep people off him, an update regarding Mark Guiu's future, and Chelsea willing to break the wage structure for certain players. Now, of course, I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions on everything that's been reported, but more importantly, I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments.
And before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. We're on the road to 10k by the end of 2025.
Now, to kick things off, Chelsea walk into another European final. We have an opportunity to win our 10th trophy that is European, which is wild. Now, look, yesterday's game, was it exciting? No. Did we get the job done? Yes. Did Enzo Maresca get it spot on? I think so. He took a massive risk which paid off handsomely by rotating the squad very heavily. But he also gave a lot of the academy boys important minutes. We saw Reggie Walsh get a full debut and he played fantastically well. This guy's awareness, his ball control, his presence, his introduction to the game was absolutely mental when you think about it. 16 years old. Just finished school, or just about to finish school. Actually, no. Now you have to be in school till you're 18 years old. I don't even know if he's done his GCSEs, and he was running the show last night. Now, respect to you, Gordon, because they did come out and try and play, but I just feel like the disparity, and the tide was done, the disparity in opponents was very clear last night. Yes, we had a 3-goal cushion going into the second leg, so that massively played a part into the rotation of Enzo Maresca's squad, but it's job done. I wasn't expecting something exciting. I wasn't expecting us to push the boundaries. What I was expecting was exactly what we got last night. A professional performance where we don't concede and we just go through the motions to get the game done. And Chelsea now walk into another European final. I'm excited. A lot of people have been throwing mud on the Conference League because it's a tin pot trophy or it's not an important competition and we shouldn't be in it. And I hear your thoughts and opinions. But I'm just excited as a Chelsea fan because we have an opportunity to win silverware at the end of the season. And it's a European trophy. And I always go back to this. Think of how young our squad is. They have an opportunity now to win a European trophy under the age of, like, some of them are under the age of 20, 21, 22. A very young squad winning a European trophy, regardless of the competition, is massive for this squad to develop a winning mentality and create more hunger to kick on next season and try and win as many games and as many trophies as possible in the future. This is a huge step forward for this Chelsea squad. And like I said, Enzo Maresca deserves full credit for the rotation. Now, was we perfect? No, Jurgen still had some chances. Of course they did. It's a game of football. But Jorgensen, when he was called upon, was absolutely fantastic and kept the clean sheet. He made some really good saves. Really good saves from the chances Jurgen created. Tyreek George, I really like him as a 9. I like him as a player, and I'm glad he's getting minutes. We managed to rest Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer, Caicedo, Fernandez. We even had some first teamers out like Reece James, who I think played okay in that midfield. Still not sold on it, but he did the job very well. Brought a bit of leadership to the squad. You had Gusto playing at left back. Not a fan of that, but at the same time it meant that we could rest Cucurella for a bit. Even though he was playing, it kind of didn't go to plan. Gusto played right back. You had Ashimpong, and then Cucurella got some minutes in the end. But rotation's rotation, okay? And we got the job done. I really, really liked Sancho. I thought had a good game. Again, he wasn't setting the world alight. I didn't think he needed to. But I think it's a good confidence booster. Managed to rest, Madueke and Neto. We saw Antwi get some minutes. We got a lot of youngsters out there that are getting valuable minutes. And again, at the end of the day, people expected us to get into a final. We're in a final. Now we have to go and win it. Now our final opponents are Real Betis, or Betis, however you want to pronounce it. And I'm genuinely not fearful, but we need to, not concerned, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, and I'm also excited because we are playing the other best team in this competition. They've been blowing teams away. They've been in some incredible run of form. Obviously, the GOAT Anthony has changed all of that for Betis, but it's going to be a big, big game in the final. And we actually have some words from Enzo Maresca from after the game and what he said when it comes to preparing for this final. Bobby Vincent reported what Enzo Maresca said on preparing for the final, and he said, "We have 4 more official games until the end. Now for the most important game for us is Newcastle. We are going to choose for every game the best 11. And I love this mentality. 4 games left. Doesn't matter about rotation now. This is the business end. We need results. We're going to play our best 11 every single match. The way that we've been playing, we've come into form at the right time, and I think this is absolutely spot on from Enzo Maresca in terms of mentality and getting the squad up and raring to go to get the results, get the points we need, win a trophy and end this season on a high. Enzo Maresca then continued to talk about Betis in the final, and he said, "I met my wife in Seville. My first son was born in Seville. I played for Seville. I want to win, no doubt, but there's also for the fans and the club." Now, for those of you who don't know, Seville and Betis are obviously rivals. He has his ties with Seville, fair enough, from family and also playing for the club, so he wants to beat them for that reason, and also for our club to get a trophy. And this is massively important, and I think you could even see in the press conference that this is where we were seeing Enzo's sort of switching into a winning mentality. And a lot of people have been crying out saying that he hasn't got a winning mentality. We've not seen it enough this season. And last night was like, this is what we're doing. We are going out. We've got 4 games to play our best 11, get the results, and end the season on a high. So I'm super excited. The final, I think, is on the 28th, Wednesday the 28th. It's going to be massive, big day for Chelsea Football Club, because if we win it, we'll be the first team ever to win every European trophy, and that is a flex. Regardless of what you think of the Conference League as a competition, it's what we're in. You can only play who's in front of you, and if we can go on and win it, that is an absolute dub, in my opinion. Moving on to Marc Guiu updates, which has been long awaited. Kieran Gill has reported that Marc Guiu is expected to stick around even if Chelsea sign a striker, as he's seen as a good backup option, particularly if others pick up injuries. This makes me so incredibly happy. There was also a report yesterday that Marc Guiu is free of injury and he could have been involved in the squad last night. Obviously, we didn't get to see him play, but we massively miss Guiu, and he's had this missed opportunity when Jackson got injured. And I kind of feel for Guiu. I think he's a raw talent. He's young. He's exciting. You can tell he's a natural finisher, but still needs to develop his game. And I'm glad that with all of this striker talk, that we are going to be keeping Marc Guiu as that backup option, because I still think with all the games potentially that we can play, he will get game time. We will have a new striker and Jackson on rotation, and Guiu will still get game time. I am glad that Chelsea want to keep him. People, look at the price tag and you think, what, we bought him for £5 million? £5 million for an 18-year-old who's already shown class and has already scored goals in European competition. He's played very well this season with the opportunities that he's been given, and I'm glad that Chelsea are going to kick on next season and say, look, we're keeping you. You are going to get opportunities, but we're also going to be buying a striker to rotate with Jackson. My curiosities take me down a path of, will Jackson be in rotation with a striker for the whole season, or will he be experimented on that left-hand side? Because me and a lot of other Chelsea fans think he originally started his professional career as a left winger and was converted into a striker, and that's how we've been utilising him. If we are going to be getting a new striker and keeping someone like Guiu around for rotation and to fill holes in the squad, will we potentially see Nicholas Jackson in other positions next season? Let me know your thoughts down below. Moving on to Chelsea breaking the wage policy if they get Champions League. Kieran Gill also reported that ideally those being targeted would embrace their existing wage structure, and that is not to say that it is so strict that it cannot be broken for a big name. I'm assured that they would do so if they encountered an opportunity too good to turn down, and I think this is one of the main factors of why we need Champions League football. This restores faith into the Chelsea fans. Whether this is Chelsea PR that's being spun or not, you can read between the lines there. They're saying if the right player with the right opportunity comes up and we have the funds, we will pay it, which means we can go for someone like an Osimhen or a Gyökeres or a Sesko, anyone who demanding higher wages that is breaking our current wage structure. And I've got no issue with that, as long as the player that we are purchasing is experienced and could do the job. No issue with that. No problem with paying a striker who's clinical and proven more money than our wage structure. I've got no issue with that at all, because at the end of the day, they score goals, we win games, we win trophies. It makes sense, right? It's what we want as fans. But the importance is qualifying for the Champions League, because that unlocks so many more funds for us to be able to do that. And I think that's why there's a lot of pressure right now on Maresca, on the squad, on the club, to secure European football, in the Champions League specifically. Sponsorship deals, that's extra money coming in, the TV rights of what you get in the Champions League. There's a myriad of things that all kind of funnel into the financials of the year, which mean Chelsea are going to be better off going forward with signing players with a higher wage structure, or just having more money in the market to be able to go and get their first choice targets. Because I said this in previous news videos, it seems like Chelsea are waiting a little bit, seeing what the market's doing, seeing how we qualify, what funds we have to then go and pounce on our targets. And anxious that we will miss our first choice targets, and I don't think this window is a window to be messed around. I think for Chelsea Football Club, this is a very important summer transfer window for improving the squad, giving Maresca the profile he needs, and for us to be able to kick on and really push on from the progress this season into next. Now, of course, we've got 4 games left, and that is where we will assess the progress. Some people have wanted Maresca out since as early as November. All right, and that's fine. Fans have their own opinions. I'm fully Maresca in at the moment until at least the end of the season to assess the objectives we all set and the expectations we set as fans at the start of the season, which is Champions League football and winning the Conference League. When the season ends and we can assess those objectives, that's when we can really see where we are as a squad, where we are, mentality-wise, ability-wise, performance-wise, form-wise, how we're going to improve in the future, and how we can kick on. We've got the Club World Cup, we've got people like Santos coming back, Petrovic coming back, Esteval being integrated into the squad, Paez, we don't know whether he's going out on loan or not, but he will be available for the Club World Cup. Esteval's after the Club World Cup, but we've got improvements coming in already, and we now know we need to strengthen in certain areas, and if we've got a big bag to do that, I feel super confident. And to be honest, I'm going to hold my hands up. I don't like these sporting directors, the way they move in the market. It worries me being linked with people like Garnacho and other players that just don't seem to be improving the squad, but more potential for the future. However, this summer transfer window, it's an opportunity to persuade a lot of Chelsea fans, and myself included, that we are serious about making improvements and getting back to where we were. But Champions League qualification is a must. Let me know your thoughts down below. Kieran Gill also reported an update regarding Trevor Chalobah's future. He said, "I haven't heard that the stance has changed on Trevor Chalobah, who could also be available for sale despite his improving performances." Trevor Chalobah. I feel so sorry for Chalobah. The way he's been treated by this club and by the board in the last few seasons is nothing short of absolutely disgusting. This is a Cobham graduate who has come back and saved us time and time again. He's been a loyal servant to the club. He bleeds blue. He is Chelsea. Like he bleeds blue. He's part of the club. He's been there pretty much his whole career, if not his whole career, whole life. Since he can kick a ball and he's been at the academy, right? This guy deserves to be rewarded. And all the board see is pure profit. He deserves to be rewarded for his commitment to the club and the performances he's put in. He's a Champions League winner. We then shipped him off on loan to Palace, and then halfway through the season went, "Ooh, we've really thinned the squad out. We ain't got any centre backs. Well, the ones we have got, they really aren't playing well. Let's call Chalobah back." And he's gone, "Yeah, no problem. I'll come back and I'll play for the shirt." And he's played some incredible performances. And I honestly think currently, right now, it's Colwell and Chalobah are the starting 11 centre back pairing. So essentially, going from, at the end of the season, that is your pairing that you've used and got to, and then going, right, we're going to cut that in half. Wesley Fofana can't stay fit, so we don't know what we're going to do with him. Just hope he recovers, because we've invested a lot of money in him. But Chalobah's pure profit. We'll just ship him off if a suitor comes in. I just think it's unfair, man. I want to keep Trevor Chalobah. I really want to keep Trevor Chalobah because I think he's a fantastic player. He's a good asset. He's got a winning mentality. And he knows what it's like to play for Chelsea. It's in his DNA. But let me know your thoughts down below on your thoughts on the whole Trevor Chalobah situation. Would you keep him or would you sell him for profit in the summer? Transfer.com have reported that Chelsea will demand a record-breaking €200 million to sell Enzo Fernandez this summer in an attempt to ward off interest from Real Madrid. Now look, I don't know how reliable this source is. We've seen things like this float around last summer in the January window. We know that Madrid have Enzo Fernandez as a long-term target. They've been pursuing him for a long time. We know that. Chelsea Football Club will not sell him. He's that heart and soul of the midfield. He's part of the long-term plan. Him and Caicedo and Lavia and all these other players have invested in. They're not going to sell him. So I don't mind how true or false this is. They slap a €200 million price tag on him, and clubs go, "Yeah, no, we ain't going to pay that." Cool, job's done. Or thinking this, you could just say he ain't for sale. He ain't for sale. Now we know that the club also love profit. So I think that they're saying, look, you give us €200 million, that doubles our investment in him. Yeah, we'll take that. We would be silly to say no to €200 million. And look, taking the emotions out of it, we would be silly to turn down €200 million. That's an obscene amount of money that we can then go spend, back in the market and get someone. But I don't want to sell Fernandez. At the moment, he's one of my favourite Chelsea players. I think he's playing the best football that he's played in a Chelsea shirt this season. I think Enzo Maresca deserves credit for unlocking Enzo Fernandez. 20 GA he's got this season. And that that's miles better than anything he's done in a Chelsea shirt. And he's kind of looked lost in his Chelsea career under Poch and under Potter and, Lampard's interim, and no one really know how to utilise him, how to unlock him, how to get the best out of him. And Enzo Maresca has done that, especially in the second half of the season, and we're really reaping the rewards of Enzo Fernandez playing some really good football in a Chelsea shirt. So I don't want things to start going well and then, Madrid are like, cool, we'll give you 200 mil, and we say, right, okay, bye. I don't think Enzo Fernandez should be for sale. There's also been multiple reports to say that Chelsea are going to turn down any offer for him, any offer for Santos, because they're not for sale. They are there for the development and improvement of Chelsea's first team, and they're part of the future plans. But let me know your thoughts down below regarding Enzo Fernandez. Would you sell him for 200 million euros, or would you keep him and just say, look, he is not for sale? And lastly, Seb Nonda and Santi JFM have reported that Chelsea are impressed by striker Emmanuel Amiga's performances at Strasbourg. Discussions have already taken place between over a long-term contract. Now, I don't know the specific GAs. I do know that he's been in a lot of highlight reels, and he's been spoke about heavily online across the season. I know he's young, I know he is a natural finisher, and he has bagged a few goals and assists, and he's very early in his career and still developing. And I think he's been one of Strasbourg's main players. Obviously, you've got Petrovic having an outstanding season. You've also got Santos, who's developed into an absolute beast of a player. And then you've also got Amiga's sort of contributions going forward, and he's been given lots of chances on a plate, and he's showcasing that he can finish them. So I'm glad again that Chelsea aren't going to try and look to flip him for profit. They want to keep him on a long term, see how he develops even more, and potentially use him in the Chelsea first team, or to be at Strasbourg and develop even more. And I know a lot of people have mixed views on the Strasbourg relationship, having the two clubs and using one to loan out and develop and feed players into both clubs. But the more it goes on and the more that we see reporting and how the players are developing, you look at Strasbourg, they're having one of the best seasons they've had. I don't know if it's ever, I'm not going to say that, but having one of the best seasons they've had in a very, very long time, and they could also qualify for the Champions League. So when you look at it from the owner's perspective, they go, we've got two clubs and two leagues that could both qualify for the Champions League this season. That's an amazing season for both of these teams. When you think about where they were when they took over, Chelsea being 12th, going to 6th, and Strasbourg, I don't know where they finished previously, I'm not going to lie. But having these players, using them to develop, there's an emotional side of me that thinks it's quite unfair to develop these players, get Strasbourg to a position, then just rip out the heart of it, go, right, start again. It's not fair on the Strasbourg fans, in my opinion. Imagine having a team where you're like, what a player, but we're not going to see him next season because he's so good that the owners are going to ship him off to the other team, the priority team. And I get it, as a Chelsea fan, we go, yeah, of course, that's what we're doing. But I quite like this relationship, especially if they're going to be developing Strasbourg over a long time as well. I feel like that's only fair. And like I said, I don't know too much about Amiga's season. I've seen little clips and highlights throughout the season. He looks like a good little player. It looks like he is going to develop nicely. And Strasbourg and the owners at Chelsea are going to give him a long-term deal, which is something that we've typically seen in the Chelsea standpoint. So they must see him for the future, developing into a really tidy player, a player that's really going to help Strasbourg kick on. So be interested to know your thoughts down below. So that is all the latest Chelsea news for today. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything that's been reported. I love having a conversation with you guys. I'm sorry there was no live watch along for the your Gordon game last night. I'm in this beautiful part of the world called Wales. The signal isn't great. The streaming has been very limited. So have the video. So I apologise. I'm back in the office for the Newcastle game Sunday. So looking forward to speaking to you guys on the live stream. Obviously, it's daily content here and on TikTok still. I'm trying my best. We've got a beautiful day here in Wales. And I'm here on a work trip. Get it over the weekend. And then we are back to normal for the Newcastle game. It's a huge game. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you have watched this video all the way to the end, firstly, you are a real one. Like, genuinely, you are a real one, and I appreciate you. But secondly, there'll be a thumbnail that pops up on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too.